Hello YouTube, and welcome back to another episode here at WILDMAN Lives. I'm your host, WILDMAN. Now on today's episode, no, this giant implement behind me is not what I'm doing today. This is actually going to be on the next video. So if you want to see what this one's about, you're going to have to check it out on the next video. But I am filming the intro for this video on a different day. So sorry, that's just the way movie magic works sometimes. On today's episode that I'm talking about, I was doing the log clean and press. And I had some very specific goals. And I'm also going to give some tips of how to lift the log and how to make sure that you're not going to hurt yourself in the process. So let's pop into that day's workout and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Now, like I said, on today's giant set in strength format, I'm going to be doing the log clean and press, where I pick up that log off the tire, get it to my shoulders, and then press it overhead. I'm going to go for a 3-rep max press away from the shoulders. And I'm also going to be doing a stone carry across the bullpen. And that was really all I was going to do today, because I mainly just wanted to wake up my body, and it was the end of the month. So I didn't really need that many more reps in order to complete my monthly total. And that's going to be the giant set for today. Now, like I said, I'm going to be doing a press away. So that means I'm going to get up to my shoulders, and I'm going to try to do reps straight from the shoulders. This is a lot harder to do with a log, because every time you bring it back down to your shoulders, you lose that real estate with your elbows being up high, and it just crushes down on your windpipe. So it's a very uncomfortable implement to use because of its size and its awkwardness. But that's what makes this thing very effective, because if you're able to shoulder press the log, you'll be able to just blow a barbell or an axle bar above your head a lot easier. I've seen a lot of people that train with just the log, and the argument of using a log only and not a barbell is people say that, well, you're going to lose a lot of your mobility because that thing is so cumbersome. So you got about 3 inches before you press it overhead. But that's actually not true. Because of its design and because of where it is on your body over the center plane of your foot, is actually a lot harder to get it over your head. So if you actually train with the log and then go to a barbell, you're going to be very surprised about how much better you are at lifting the barbell than training with the barbell. Another good thing is the log carries over into natural strength or functional strength. Picking stuff up and placing it over your head is a normal function for humans. And it's not always going to be designed for lifting or going to be exactly comfortable when you're pressing overhead. And neither is the log. Whereas a barbell is made to do that. It's made to be lifted from the ground, and it's made to be pressed overhead. So in comparison between a barbell and a log, I really like the log a lot more for this reason. And the idea was to hit 3 reps with no belt and then pack it up and put it away. But of course, you know me, I always have to push it, and I have to see just how far I can go, especially when it's feeling really good, like it was on this beautiful day, which was a beautiful day. I really loved being outside on this day. And it is nice that the weather was so warm today, because it's been cold lately. So being outside in this nice warm weather was different. And that's why you could see my legs desperately need some sun. So this was good to do kind of a duality thing, to hit some big numbers on the weight and to get some sun on my legs. And this is my top set for the day, which is what I was supposed to do, which is 3 repetitions from the shoulders. And this went up way too easy. I was feeling very good this day, and all of this without a belt or any other equipment. I don't even have wrist wraps on, which is what I usually wear when I'm lifting heavy. Most of the time I won't wear a belt because it actually pinches the skin as I'm trying to clean it up. So it really throws me off. And I don't have a soft belt to go underneath that, but I'm going to invest in that one day, because I feel like that's an important investment to make as I get heavier in the logs, because it's important to protect your back, especially when you're doing all that other heavy lifting throughout the week. So I decided I was going to try, since I was feeling good, without a belt, without equipment, 220 pounds. And I was going to try to do 1 for sure, 2 maybe, and 3 hopefully. But I didn't really give myself that much credit. So this first one goes up super smooth and super fast. So the hard part is bringing it down and doing it again with that time under tension is very difficult. And you can see I get some daylight under there, but I'm unable to finish it. But still very happy that I was able to accomplish what I wanted to do. and even felt good enough to try a bigger rep for that 220-pound log for more repetitions. So really can't complain, very happy about that. Now for the variation giant set, I was doing 3 rounds, and since the log is out here, and typically I like to use the log as much as I can, I was gonna do some strict press with 130 pounds. And the whole idea is, as I'm trying to shuffle and get myself more stable here, is I'm not using any legs. You'll notice that I was using a lot of leg drive when the weight was heavy with the log on my strength giant set. This is to finish off my shoulders in the same movement pattern and with a lot less weight, but I'm taking out my legs. So that makes it a lot harder on the shoulders, and your shoulders have to work a lot harder. And I just continue to do that same format of carrying that stone in between each set. Now there's a lot of ways to get a log or a barbell over your head. You could do a push press, a push jerk, an Olympic clean, or even a strict press. And the strict press is the hardest one of them all, because it really just requires a lot of core and shoulder strength. This has actually been used in powerlifting competitions before they swapped it out with the bench press, because people believe that that's a true test of strength, is not being able to use your legs. The problem is it's hard to judge, because you do have to clench your butt cheeks a little bit and then push your head forward. However, a lot of people were leaning back a lot and using it more of like a standing incline bench press. So I think that's why they swapped it out for the bench press in any regards. And normally when I do my variation, I like to do the seated dumbbell press, which you've been seeing me do a lot lately. But since I don't get to pull the log out a whole lot, I sometimes like to finish with either an incline log press or like this with a strict log press to finish off my shoulders. And about the 8th rep, I knew I was gonna have to start cheating the movement with my legs, so I just set it down because my shoulders were pretty much timed out in endurance-wise when it comes to pressing overhead. So since my shoulders were so gassed out, I decided just to do a accessory giant set for 3 rounds, and I was doing the tricep push-ups on that log to finish off my chest and my triceps, both in one movement, and to do some face pulls as well, just to end with that shoulder health and that mobility. But for the 3rd movement, I got kind of creative. So what I was gonna do was starting to put my weights away, starting with the heaviest and then working my way down to the lightest. And that was actually a pretty good giant set, because I normally would do it at the end of my workout, but I actually coupled it with the workout. So you could see with the 2nd round, I do the tricep push-ups, the face pulls, and then I put away some more weight, which is not that heavy, but when your shoulders are that pumped, it does definitely add to the workout. And then by the time I was all done, I felt like I had a really good pump session, and all my weight was put away as well. So sometimes you have to get creative in the gym, and you just have to use what you got around you, or just see what you can do to be a little bit more efficient. Because essentially this is like a loaded carry medley in a strongman competition, right? Because sometimes the weight is heavy, light, or a mix like this, and you kind of just have to do it as quickly and efficiently as you can. And usually it's when you're pretty tired and fatigued. So this is just a great way to train and to clean up at the same time. All right, so I was able to hit what I wanted to hit that day and was able to push it a little bit more. So I really can't complain about that. And like I said, check out my next video when I work out with this little buddy behind me, and we'll see how that goes. I'm also gonna be doing some stones and some other stuff as well in giant set format. So I'll see you next time. Thank you.